Hey everyone, we're the Board Game Weekenders. I'm Steven.
And I'm Megan, and today we're going to review Kohaku, designed by Danny Devine.
This is from Gold Seal Games and 25th Century Games. Let's take a look. Kohaku is a tile-laying game where each turn you're going to take a fish and a scoring tile, and you're going to take them and place them in your own pond, and you're going to keep doing this over and over until the tile stacks are depleted. So how do you score points, and how does the actual, again, tile taking and tile laying work? First, you'll shuffle all of the koi tiles and place them in a face-down stack. Then you'll take all of the lily pad scoring tiles and you'll shuffle them and place them in a face-down stack. And then you'll seed the neoprene mat here. So on these spaces there will be koi or, again, the lily pads here. So you'll take them and put them on the correct spot. And that's kind of the setup for the game, and give everyone a scoring token. Starting for the first player and moving clockwise, on your turn you have to take a koi tile and then a feature tile that pairs with it. So let's say, again, there's 4 different colors in the game. There's red, black, white, and yellow of the koi that are of 2 different colors. And then there's a bunch of different feature tiles that score points in different ways. So maybe on my turn I wanted to select this koi tile and this feature tile, and then I place them linking together. I can't have them spaced apart, at least starting here. So I'll place them like this, and then we would refill the board. Now to refill the board, the middle 2 tiles are going to be removed sometimes depending on what tiles players take. So in this case, this koi tile actually slides out to the edge, and this feature tile always slides out to the edge if the one was taken there. Now you'll see there, this means that every time when you replace tiles, you're going to take a koi tile and put it on the koi space, and then in the middle you'll put a lily pad, again feature tile, on the correct space there. So you're always going to be replacing these 2 middle tiles no matter what, and kind of sliding those ones that were taken from the edge. So the only time that wouldn't happen, again, is if I took these 2 tiles in the middle, then you would just, again, replace those 2 spaces. So now that we know how we're going to get tiles, now we're going to show you how you score during the game. And these are going to be from all these feature tiles that we're going to get. So this flower here is going to score by however many black koi we have surrounding it. And since each koi, again, might have 2 colors, some of them, again, might be a solid color like such, as long as one of the colors on it is black, this will count towards the scoring bonus. So at the end of the game, if it was like this, I would score 4 points. If each of the sides was covered, you would get the full 12. You also have dual flowers, which you have 2 colors that can score for them. So if a black or a yellow is adjacent to it, I will get 2 points. And if I have a black and a yellow, again, koi like this would score 3 points. So at the end, I would add up all around, depending on how many yellow or yellow and black, and score that many points at the end. Next is the easiest one, turtles, and they just score you a value of 5 points at the end of the game. Next, we have frogs, who score you 1 point for each dragonfly on the koi tiles adjacent to it. So maybe, again, later in the game, I kind of have my pond built out like this. So this frog at the end of the game would score 1, 2, 3 points. And koi sometimes have 2, 3, or again, in this case, 1 dragonfly on them. Next, we have statues, to which it doesn't matter what koi tiles are next to them. Just as long as it is surrounded, you'll get the full 10 points at the end of the game. So if at the end I had, 3 koi tiles surrounding it, I would only get 6 points. But again, if I have it fully surrounded by koi, it will get the full 10 points. Butterfly tiles are unique in that they're going to get you 2 points for each color koi that's in that row and column of your pawn at the end of the game. So in this case, I would score 2, 4, 6 points at the end of the game for having those 3 yellow koi in that row and column. Next, we have rocks, which score you 1 point for each baby koi on the adjacent tiles. So in this case, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points at the end of the game. Again, koi might have 1, 2, or 3 baby koi on their tiles. And finally, at the end of the game, you'll also set up any coins that you have on koi tiles. So in this case, again, I would get 1 point at the end of the game for having each coin on all of my koi tiles. So now that you kind of understand how to score, each turn, again, I'll be taking a koi and a feature tile. Now, it's important to know that you have to place it in a checkered pattern, so I can never have 2 features next to each other. It will always have to be a feature next to a koi. So I can never have 2 koi touching each other or 2 features touching each other. So we'll keep taking tiles like this, trying to place them in the best way possible to score. And then again, once the tiles are gone at the end of the game, you'll add up all the points for each of the feature tiles that you have and all of the coins on your koi tiles, and whoever has the most points is the winner. That's a general overview of how to play Kohaku. Okay, there's a general overview of how to play Kohaku. Now, Megan, is there anything that we didn't like about this game?
Oh, that's tough. I think if I was being nitpicky, the one thing that I don't like is I really want like a personal scoring goal or like a personal objective. Even though there's lots of different options to score and every game is different, I do feel like that might be something that maybe would be helpful in an expansion down the road. I just want like
just the scoring could get
one
samey
more
over
thing,
time.
To make it a little bit different game to game. But
yeah, I could see that after a while, like if you played it a bunch.
Yeah.
For me, it is kind of difficult to shuffle these acrylic tiles. They're really cool and nice, and I've heard like some people said theirs were like chipping and like kind of scraping and stuff. We haven't had that issue.
Yeah.
But if you did have to kind of shuffle these tiles a lot, I could see them scraping, and it's kind of good to get in, like cards. It's much easier to shuffle. Like these, it's kind of hard. I wish it almost had a bigger bag and things. It's a nice insert, but it's kind of wish that might be a little bit easier. But
you just kind of almost get into the groove of like at the end of a game, you have to really shuffle them up when you put them away. That way it's ready to go for the next game, I think is important.
Yeah, but I don't think anything like major really. We're just kind of trying to pick a few things that we kind of see here.
Yeah. All right, Steven, let's get to some of the things we do like about this game. What do you think?
Yeah, so for me, like I said, almost a negative how people are complaining about the acrylic tile scratching. These are so cool, how they're like dual layered, like
so pretty.
The turtles like popping out of, you know what I mean, the water and stuff. And when you like lay your like pond out by the end, it just looks really cool.
And so satisfying, like the checkerboard pattern of how you lay them out. Like you have a lot of options, but then you don't. So it's not too thinky, take 2 tiles, put them down where you want. I love the simplicity of this game, You take 2 tiles, you just have to take a fish and a scoring tile, put it on your board in a certain pattern, and that's it. That's your turn. Refresh the thing, refill it.
It has a really good rhythm to it.
Yes.
It's just very rhythmic, and then it's just a pleasant experience, both for, I think, like people who don't play a lot of games and people who do. It's just enough there to like keep those interested, but it's easy enough for those, again, who are playing for the first time or don't play a lot of games. Take 2 tiles, a fish and a feature tile. That's
this
it.
Is definitely something I see us pulling out with like people who like maybe want to play games but aren't really sure.
Definitely.
This is like a really good bridge, I think, between like a typical like family game into like something that's a little more gamerish, while it's super simple to learn and play.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Sushi Go, how it's like that's an easy card drafting game. This is like tile laying 101. Take these tiles and place them out,
Right. And the iconography is awesome. It's really easy to follow.
These scoring cards are good. Again, like we don't even keep these out anymore because we already know how to score. But like, again, if a new player's there, it's just something that's kind of easy and handy to give to them.
Yeah, and we've played several times, and each time I find that like I'm doing something different, even though I was already complaining about not having the individual scoring goals. Each time you kind of, depending upon what comes out here, you do play a little bit different each game. Yeah. And that's really interesting to me, I think.
Yeah, and it seems like I could see some people saying that like this will get old over time, and like for us it hasn't. It's just, I don't know, it's that sweet spot where like I get it could be samey for some people, but for us we could do this over and over and over. This is a perfect,
like we just got home from work, we ate dinner, we're tired, but we want to play a game, and it's just a pleasant, pretty game to just play.
Off the shelf, the cover too. Like people, hey, do you want to play a game about this? It's a lot like prettier to look at maybe than even something like Carcassonne that's about like building a city or something. It just kind of has a nice look to it.
Hey, you want to build a koi pond?
Yeah.
All right, Steven, let's get down to it. What is your score and final thoughts on this game?
Man, for me, I think Kohaku is a very solid 8 for me.
Oh.
It's really good tiling. I'll always enjoy playing it. I might not pick it all the time, but I don't think I'll have a problem with that. And I think it's just a great, again, entryway game, a great welcoming game. And there's just enough there. I do wish the scoring, like there was a little bit more to it and some secret things, kind of like you said, and that could have raised up even a little bit more. But it's a really solid game.
Yeah.
Well, now, what about you?
I obviously agree. This game is right in my wheelhouse. I mean, these acrylic tiles by themselves,
you do like your components
absolutely gorgeous. But my score, I think I have to give it an 8.5.
Okay. I thought you might even go higher than that.
I thought about it, but I think if they come out with an expansion, please. Okay.
And it could go up or down,
Yeah,
like,
I love this game. I think it's simple and it's beautiful, and I really have enjoyed every single time we play it. I just have a little inkling of a doubt that like maybe later on it'll be really a little bit samey. Mm-hmm. But that's just a little bit of a doubt. It maybe not be true. But that makes me not want to put it right up at a 9, so I'm going to say 8.5.
Yeah.
Happy to pull this out anytime. I would never be upset to play it.
I would hope that this one doesn't go under the radar kind of a thing. Yeah. I think I could see it doing that, and I hope it doesn't, because it really should get played by a lot of people.
I think this is a little underrated right now. People need to know it's out there.
Okay. Alrighty, those are our final thoughts on Kohaku. Thank you everyone again for watching. And again, I'm Steven with Board Game Weekenders.
And I'm Megan.
Alright, we'll see you next time.